Really a pleasure to speak in this debate, and I have to say I find it quite detestable, some of the language that's been used and the personal attacks that have occurred. But, Mr Speaker, the Labor Party are really kind of indicating quite a significant turning point in terms of the access to personal information for MPs, for journalists, and for a range of people that currently have some protections. And I was interested in the Green Party contribution, because the Green Party Speaker was quite concerned about this journalist and the vulnerability of this particular reporter. And yet, you know, perhaps they haven't been talking to their friends in the Labor Party about exactly what this privileges complaint will lead to. Because there will be no protection for that vulnerable reporter. There will be absolutely no protection for that reporter because of what the Labor Party wants to do with laying a privileges complaint. So all of a sudden, Mr Speaker, we move into this completely new space because of their actions. And the thing that makes it even more despicable is the fact that there are just such double standards in this House. And that's the thing that I found absolutely despicable. And Mr Goff himself, and I want to follow up and I want to remind the House of the Honourable Bill English's words, because the Honourable Bill English said quite clearly that there's kind of three things. If the Labor Party want to get to the bottom of things, there's three very clear opportunities for what they can do. The first one was, remember, encourage Mr Peters to table all of those emails that he has in the House. That's what? You want to get to the bottom of it? He's your mate. He wants to get into bed with you guys instead of the Greens. So lay it on the table, and that'll mean we can get to the bottom of it. The second thing, quite simple, again, with Mr Goff, you want to release personal records, if you want to release your personal emails. Oh, but that's right. There is an individual called Person A that you have an interest, that Mr Goff has an interest in protecting. You're doing all you possibly can to protect Person A, but you're actually quite willing to leave a reporter and hang them out to dry. Quite interesting. Double standards again from that side of the House. And the third one, of course, the third one that Mr English said quite clearly was the release of some bank statements that would also help the House get to the matter of some other matters. So, you know, it's about putting things on the record. It's about getting to the bottom of things. That's where this debate started at 3:15. Mr Shearer, as the Leader of the Opposition, was very clear about wanting to get to the bottom of the things. But actually, you can't, Mr Speaker, in this House, you can't have those sorts of double standards. And another double standard that's been demonstrated today is what I think is actually quite a level of contempt for a very highly respected public servant. And I find it quite despicable in this House that a public servant of David Henry's stature is criticised to the extent that he has been in this House. Because I'm confident, Mr Speaker, that a very professional and thorough inquiry has been undertaken, and some parties in this House would actually want the Prime Minister to interfere in what is an independent inquiry. But that's right, this side of the House recognises what independence is, but that side of the House is used to having a Prime Minister who interferes and has their sticky fingers on everything. So, Mr Speaker, I'm not pleased to speak in this debate, but it is important to get some things on the record.
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, the so-called urgent debate from the Labor Party